Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Married Now Widowed. We're your hosts. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Nadine, and this podcast is about navigating life after loss through unfiltered conversations.
We are back for part 2.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
We have our special guest.
G, back
G's
with us.
Hey.
Yes, so we're going to get straight into it where we left off. If you haven't seen last week's episode, please go and watch that. And we're just going to continue on from that.
I just looked at him. I go, what? What do you mean? I go, what do you want? Relationship? He's like, yeah, I want a relationship. Go on your date tomorrow.
What?
Go on your date tomorrow and we'll talk. I go, there's nothing to talk about. Anyway, I went home. He's ringing, right? I'm just in the shower thinking, oh my God, this bloke just
You
said
know what
he
it was? It was probably that he didn't want you to go on this date and, pursue anything.
Yeah.
He was like, I found a catch and I need to.
No, but after the first date, calm down.
Yeah. I just thought, I don't know, I shouldn't compare, but I did. When I met my husband, it wasn't boom.
Yeah.
We formed a friendship. We
That's
got to know
right,
each
yeah.
other. And then
Couple dates
after
at least,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
after a month or two
Yeah.
is when we formed a relationship
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's probably going, I don't want this girl to slip away from me. So I need to.
Anyway, and then I went on that date. I did.
Yeah.
I went on
Yeah,
that
good on
date.
you.
Yeah, good.
It was lovely. It was nice. And then he messaged me going, I'm jealous. I'm
And
looking-
this was the next day.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I ignored it. And then he rings me. And I'm looking at this bloke that I'm on a date with and I'm thinking, okay, it's my daughter's provider. Because I just answer it. So I answered it. I was like, hey, he's like, are you having fun with your date? Yeah,
Yeah.
like very passive aggressive
Yeah.
behavior. I was like, can I call you back later? Like now, like in my head, I'm thinking this is getting weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I called him back when I get home and we were just chatting away and left it at that. My girlfriend came over. She was like, how did it go last night? And I told her what happened, like got into details with her. She's like, stay away from him.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, stay away from him. Don't do it. I don't know what his plans are, what his agenda is. I just don't have a good feeling about this, right?
Right.
I said, okay, whatever. And then I think it was about maybe 3 days later, because he said to me that when my daughter comes out of surgery, that his daughter will be the support worker for my daughter, right? And I said, look, knowing my daughter, she doesn't want anyone next to her unless she knows you, meets you.
Yeah.
She just can't be with a stranger.
Yeah.
Part like that. So we organised dinner. We just stayed local and they met each other and we were just talking. And then things started to progress after that. He was calling a lot. And when I mean calling a lot, that's when my daughter was getting very suspicious because he was calling me, I'm not exaggerating, 15 to 20 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot. Anyway, I went to this concert with my girlfriends. I remember having a very bad migraine and I dropped my husband's Apple Watch.
Right.
'Cause after he died, I was wearing it. And I remember that day I was bawling my eyes out because I smashed the screen. So anyway, the following day, I went to the Apple store to see if they could fix it. And they wanted like $600
For the screen,
Yeah.
for the screen. The watch I got for $700.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't justify it.
Yeah.
So I went to those mobile little shops just to see if they can fix the screen. And they were asking for like $300-400.
Yeah.
I got really emotional. I know to some people they think it's a watch, but it was my husband's.
Of course.
right? And then he rang me and I was like, yeah, my watch broke and blah, blah, blah. He goes, it's just a watch. He goes, I'll buy you one. I was like, no, it's my husband's.
Yeah, it means more than...
Yeah, like you
it's
can't
just-
replace it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
a watch.
You know? Like I had one, babes. I put it to a side and wore my husband's
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
Anyway, he ended up getting me the watch.
Oh.
And then we just started obviously getting closer. We were hanging out more. I started getting butterflies and
Yeah. It was
'cause
heading
he
in the
was-
right direction.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I was like, it's too good to be true. Like, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he made me feel very special.
Yeah.
Very special, like I was his queen. Right?
Okay.
Well, that's how he treated you.
That's
as
how he
well,
treated
yeah.
me. But then, you know, I was noticing a few things, like he had a habit of taking cocaine a lot. And I was noticing the drinking every day.
How long after you guys started seeing each other did he let you know that he was taking drugs?
Oh, look, I knew about it straight away. He was quite open about it, but he said to me, his exact words, I only do this once every few months. Right?
Right.
That's it. What I noticed was it was a weekly thing and not just once. That was alarming for me. And I confronted him about it because I said to him, this is not about control. Like, I actually care for you. You're 57 years old. You're doing a lot of cocaine. You're drinking a lot. It's concerning.
Yeah.
I have a daughter. His kids are adults. They don't live with him. My daughter lives with me.
Yeah.
My daughter even noticed the drinking.
Yeah.
Not the cocaine part of it,
Yeah.
but the drinking.
Yeah.
Because her dad never did that. She only knows her dad.
Yeah, that's
Right?
right. Of course.
So even someone else coming into my life was shocking for her.
right.
She never liked him from day get-go.
Right.
At all. Anyway, and then you know, we were going out to dinners a lot. But what I noticed was like we only went into the city 2 or 3 times for a night out. And the rest of the time would be like Uber at his house or my house because all he wanted to do was pretty much get on it.
Right. Okay.
So you
Right?
couldn't drive.
Yeah. And I was like the Uber driver.
yeah. Right.
Pretty much,
okay.
right? And at this point, I'm thinking, shit,
What have I gotten myself into?
what have I gotten myself into? But mind you, I've invested in this relationship,
That's right. Yeah.
right? Because I'm not that type of person that is going to just be with any Tom, Dick and Harry
Yeah.
and not take it seriously,
Yeah.
right? Because from the beginning, he was being
Charming.
so charming and
Treated you well.
he treated me well, right? And then constantly wants to be at his neighbour's house because they were the same thing. They were doing the same thing.
Right.
Like at home on
Yeah.
the kitchen bench.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not my style. I
Yeah.
don't do that. Like, anyway. And then the questions about my equity in my home.
Oh, okay. So personal financial
Yeah.
questions.
it was
right.
too soon into the relationship. Personally, like, I'm
Equity
sorry.
in your home. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
it
a
gets
weird question, isn't it?
Yeah.
more interesting, let me tell you.
Anyway, asking about that and saying to me that he wants to give me the business, his business in the future. And I said, but you've got kids. He's
Yeah.
like, no, my kids they're useless.
Yeah.
They won't be able to do it. I was like, wow, right?
Yeah.
And I'm that type of person, when you tell me something, I trust your word.
Yeah.
I believe you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because when I talk to someone, I don't sit there and lie.
Yeah.
So you expect people to be telling the truth.
Truth,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I want to pay off your mortgage and I want to do this for you.
How far in is this?
This is probably a month.
Oh my gosh, a month in.
Yeah. A month in, right?
Okay.
And in that, the first 3 weeks we were together, he met my best friend.
Okay.
She came over. She was so excited because she wanted to meet the man that made me smile again.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? And this is just after my daughter's surgery now.
Right.
So she sat there and she was talking to him. They got along really well. And he just pretty much told her his whole life story in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I remember her turning around and saying to him, Mr. White, do you actually go around and telling everyone everything about you? She goes, don't do that. Like how much he gets a week and what he drives and how successful he is and all this stuff,
big
right?
Talker.
Big, very, very, very big talker.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, and she obviously liked him because of me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when your friend who's lost her husband meets someone and, you know, that person treats her well and you see that, you know, she's smiling again and she's happy and excited, you get really excited for your friend, you know? So,
babe, like she cried from happiness for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She genuinely wanted the best for me.
Yeah.
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 Especially after my husband's passing, seeing me happy like that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
he pretty much love bombed you in
oh
those
my God,
first
I've never
couple
been
of
loved bombed
weeks,
in my
months.
life, babe.
Yeah.
So I feel now I feel like such an idiot.
Yeah, but you didn't know.
Such an idiot. I
obviously.
know I didn't know, but I've got to take accountability, babe. I saw the red flags. I chose to ignore it thinking, I want to see the good in people, babe.
I agree, but I think when, you know, you go through something like losing your husband and then you meet somebody or the first person you meet and this person is looking after you emotionally, right? Looking after you, you know, making you smile again. You know, he wasn't only buying you presents, he was buying your daughter presents. So, you know, he was really like...
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
He did know exactly what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
It's the first person that you meet that's making you smile again and giving you hope.
Absolutely,
I think that anybody would have done what you did or anybody would have felt what you were feeling. So, I mean, I tell G all the time, like, don't be hard on yourself because luckily for you, you know, you did see him for what he was eventually, whereas others didn't.
Yeah.
And she'll get into that.
Look, I'm very fortunate. I'm going to not lie about that.
Yeah.
Where other women in his past lost everything.
Yeah.
They lost everything from houses to business to cars. To everything.
Because of what he did.
Because, well, end of the day, you're an addict.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're an addict, what are you going to do? Honestly.
So can you go into detail about how you found out about, you know, his shadiness?
Oh. So before we get to that part, there was one very good friend who I see as an older sister, right? Like I see her, she's my family and my best friend, my family, right? I remember her crying to me, babe, you know, bawling her eyes out. And this friend doesn't cry, saying you're making a huge mistake. Don't do it.
Right.
Anyway, I ignored that too, babe. That's why I said I got to take accountability.
Yeah.
Right? I was warned by her. So the whole financial part of it, the phone calls I was getting, I still get till this day. I get phone calls. And not everyone can lie, babes. They're all saying the same thing to me.
Yeah.
His first wife was bankrupt because of him. His second partner of 10 years got also bankrupt. So what he does is doesn't pay the mortgage, for example.
People obviously started finding out that, Jen had moved forward with her life.
Right.
And then she was getting,
I was
all
getting
these people
bombarded.
Really?
Yes.
Who had known him or knew about him or whatever. And they were telling her, like, she was getting bombarded with, like, so many calls from different people.
And this is all from, so he put a photo up on his cover page on Facebook.
Of the two of you?
Of the two of us. And the following week, because mind you, I've met his whole family.
Okay.
Brothers, mum, he took me to his cousin's wedding. So in my eyes,
that's it. I'm a part of the family
That's
now.
right.
he loves me.
Yeah.
He's proven that, to me.
Yeah.
To introduce someone to your family, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's a big deal. You don't just introduce your family to anyone.
Yeah.
You don't do that, right? Unless you're serious about them.
Yeah.
So to me, in my eyes, in my heart and brain, he loves me. I'm special.
Yeah.
I put a photo up of me and him. Babe, the next day,
Yeah.
boom.
So when you were getting told all this stuff, what did you do after that?
After that,
Yeah.
well, after that is this, mind you, till this day I still get these calls. We haven't been together for like months and months, right? And when I get to the juicy part, you're both going to be like, anyway, I confronted him, but I twisted the story around because I didn't want whoever has given me this information to go back to all these people that have told me about him, right?
Right.
I said, your ex of 10 years, not the wife, of 10 years is going around and saying that she got bankrupt because of you. Oh, babe, he lost his shit. I was on the phone to him for hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, calm down.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
And I said,
that was from his doing. So he made these people get bankrupt.
yeah.
So how did he do that?
Obviously by having a cocaine habit.
Yeah, but what
Not
things
paying.
were in their name, obviously.
Yeah.
Houses, cars.
And not
stuff
when
like
you
that.
don't make a payment for your mortgage, what do you think happens, guys?
Yeah, the bank's calling, letters.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Or if you have a business and the business is going down and that business you put pretty much like a guarantor with your own home,
Right.
it's going to go down, right? So anyway,
He denied it.
he didn't deny the bankruptcy,
No, but he denied.
but he denied the way it happened.
Right.
And mind you, I know how it happened because I don't see why all these people would lie to me.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it doesn't make
And
any sense.
they're all saying the same story.
That's
There
right.
was
Yeah.
nothing different.
Yeah.
One story wasn't this and the other story wasn't that.
He's not, well, it is stealing, but so he's not stealing from people. He's using this to fund his drug habit. So the whole
Correct.
issue is that he's got a really bad drug problem,
And alcohol, yes.
drug and alcohol,
Yep.
and he's using, so every person he meets, he uses their funds to support
Well,
his
that's
habits.
what it looks like,
right?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, now anyway.
Well, now that's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Because like for
But at
him
the time,
to,
you wouldn't have really.
No, of course not. Because
Well, he played it cool, right?
That's right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
he played it very cool.
Yeah.
And
He took
like,
her on a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
And then when I confronted him about this, that night he proposed to me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. You're joking.
Yeah. And please, Mr. White, deny it. Just
he's
deny it.
so
Because it's all in text
narcissistic.
messages
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And my best friend's got all the screenshots. Please freaking
she
deny
comes
it.
with receipts.
Yes,
Yeah.
she does.
Wow.
I've got screenshots. Anyway.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then the next day we met up and
Wait, did you say yes?
yeah, I did. I said yes.
Okay.
And
But that would be your future plan with this guy. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were planning our future.
yeah.
Wow.
And that was not long before you went overseas.
No.
Yeah.
Not long.
Couple days.
A few days before we left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you go overseas.
We go overseas, and then he wanted to get married at Hemisphere, where we had our first date. Because according
That's what
to
you
him,
want to call it.
Oh, you okay.
Yeah,
I want
right?
to get married at Hemisphere.
yeah, right, in top of establishment. And I thought, yeah, it's a great idea because it's where we went on our first date. La da 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 da.
Right.
According to him, it was our first date. To me,
But do
it
you
was just
think
dinner.
that, like now, if someone walked up to you or you, let's just say you met someone and you guys were in a relationship and you were seeing him for a while, and then this guy says, "Gee, let's get married at Hemisphere." Would you still be like, yeah, okay?
No.
Or would you, yeah, you'd be
Fuck
like, what
no.
the fuck?
Fuck no.
Was someone getting married on top of
Yeah. But you know, when
What's
you're
it
in
called?
it, you can't see anything.
No, you
right?
can't. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You got your doubts, and you're like,
yeah. You know, but you just
you choose
push
to
it.
ignore it
Yeah.
because
Because
it's
you
like
think-
this person's making you
Yeah.
happy, and
Yeah.
it's like, pick your battles.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I need to take accountability.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we went on our holiday. I'm getting the phone calls from the events manager from Hemisphere.
So
Because we
in
did a
that
guest
3
list
days,
at all.
so in the 3 days of when he proposed or when he said he wanted to marry you, and when you guys left, in that 3 days, you guys had already started the process.
Started it because he wanted to get married November 11th this year.
Okay.
Yeah. We did a guest list. That was all done.
Wow.
Had a couple of issues with some people on the guest list, but anyway. Didn't want him at the wedding. Mind you, one of them was his friend. And then before, obviously, we went on our holiday, one of my friends that I grew up with, her and her husband wanted to meet Mr. White. So we go have dinner at Kendallori's.
This is when you got back.
This is before we left.
Yeah.
And, she's excited for me. Her husband's excited for me.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, we sit down, we order our food, drinks are flowing. All he did was to speak about himself.
Oh, so narcissistic. Yeah.
I
Hate
was so
that.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend kept looking at me and I'm looking at her. She knows me.
Yeah.
We've known each other since we were 10. And Mr. White and my friend's husband had to go to the bathroom. So they went. You know what Mr. White asked my friend's husband?
What?
Cocaine.
Do you rack?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you rack?
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm so-and-so. Do you rack? Are you fucking
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Just
crazy.
embarrassed you.
When he embarrassed
Yeah.
me, when he knew that my circle doesn't do that,
Yeah.
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 right? I've warned him.
Yeah.
These people don't do drugs. They don't,
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
do
Well,
recreational
I guess
drugs.
when you're desperate, you don't care who's standing in front of you.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
gonna-
clearly. But according to
Yeah.
him, when I confronted him, I never said that.
yeah.
I never showed your daughter pictures of other women. I was
Yeah.
there.
Oh, gosh.
So, okay. So take us back to, so when you were in Bali, was there an incident that happened in Bali?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
So we were having breakfast and he's like, come on, babe, have you, wrote down your questions to speak, like to ask the solicitor because we want to buy a property together, right?
Oh, God.
I was like, I don't need to. I know what to say because at the end of the day, we're going to do a prenuptial. Ooh, did his face turn?
Oh, my goodness.
I go, because my house that I worked very hard with my husband is
Yeah.
going to the kids, like my daughter.
Yeah, this is your marital home.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? His face turned. He didn't speak to me for like 2 hours properly, babe. We're in Bali, yeah? And his idea to go to Bali, not mine. Just putting it out there. So it's time to go home. He got sick. He ended up getting Bali belly. Me being me, looked after him, only went up to the hotel to eat and come back.
Yeah.
Right? It's our flight coming back home. It was better at the airport. And we just walked past Marc Jacobs. And I wanted to see how much those camera bags were. Because, you know, it's duty free. You think it's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was $5 cheaper, $10 cheaper. I was
Yeah.
like, as if. And he saw a bag. This yellow canary bag, right? Yellow's a beautiful colour. Don't get me wrong. But it's just not for me. He goes, babe, that bag will make a statement. I looked at the bag and I went, I wouldn't be caught dead in that. Because I said that, all right, it was pretty abrupt, I have to admit.
Because he was going to buy it for her.
He was
wanted to
gonna buy it for
Oh,
me.
I'd say something like that. If my partner, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
terrible. No thanks.
I
Any
won't
deal.
hold it. Don't
Yeah.
waste your money.
Yeah.
Next.
And I've noticed as I'm getting older, I'm even getting more honest.
Yeah.
I'm not 20 anymore where,
Yeah.
you know, my husband, bless him, brought me a watch once, babes. I was mortified. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law saw it. She goes, what's that?
Yeah.
I go, your brother got me this. She goes, that's not you. He goes,
Yeah.
so can't.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right. He goes, you choose what you want and
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, and I did apologize to Mr. White. And I said, I'm sorry. Like, I know that was abrupt.
Because you got the shits, right?
Babe, he walked out of the store and
Yeah.
he was so angry.
That's insane,
You know what he
Yeah.
turned around and said
so
to me?
these are like little signs
Yeah.
that, you know,
Yeah.
his personality was kind of coming out, right?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing. There's so much more.
Yeah, I know.
And then he goes to me, the way you've disrespected me, the prostitutes didn't even do that to me. And then I turned around knowing G. I go, yeah, because you were paying them. Of course they're going to respect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that blew up into a huge argument.
Right.
Anyway, we made up.
Yeah.
Right. We come back home and his new AMG is in the driveway because he got another one because he
Right.
wanted to give me his
So
white
he
one.
has money then, right? Like he's got, or
No.
he's got credit available. No, okay.
It's all financed.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
owns nothing.
Yeah.
He owns absolutely nothing. Probably
Right.
just the clothes and his furniture in his house.
Right. But he obviously has some sort of
Income.
Like
He's
able
got an
to get
income.
Yeah, of
finance
course.
on
Of
things,
course.
But
right?
his income obviously doesn't last very long because he asked $30,000 off me.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So he asked you for money
Yeah.
and you lent that money to him.
I lent him
You
not
lent
30.
it to him.
Yeah.
I lent him 18,000.
What did he say it was for?
Tax.
Tax.
His tax
right.
bill.
And mind you, this person gets $6,500 a week.
Right. Right. Okay. So you lent it to him.
I lent it to him.
Yeah.
Again, trusted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big.
He said to me that we will have a signed agreement. He is going to also give me $4,000 worth of interest because obviously if you go to the bank, what's the interest on that?
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And this money that I gave him wasn't a savings. This was offsetting my mortgage.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right? And I
yeah.
said to him, you're going to have to pay
that's right.
the extra repayments
That's right, yeah.
for the interest.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's borrowing money
That's
off
right.
me.
You're not going to put yourself out.
Yeah,
that's right.
Of course.
And he goes, I'm going to give you my watches as collateral because he's got expensive watches.
Okay.
And he said, I'm also going to pay for your Turkey trip, airfare ticket,
Okay.
because next year I'm going to Turkey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I was like,
It's a fair deal, really.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
than generous,
I
right?
said, okay.
Yeah.
I did, and mind you, I didn't come up with this.
Yeah, that's
it
right.
It was all
Him.
Him. Yeah.
It was all him.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was writing out the agreement, sends me the email. I had to do a couple of adjustments because, you know, I had to add in there the ticket. He's like, you're such an opportunist. And I said, excuse me?
You said it.
You said it, and I'm actually writing it down now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
yeah.
editing it. Anyway, I have major surgery. Yeah? We have an argument 2 days before my surgery. Major, big argument, babe, where it wasn't nice. Okay? Anyway, I ended it.
Oh, wow.
So
I ended it.
You need to rewind. Mm-hmm. You need to talk about the most important thing that happened.
Which part?
Your house.
Oh, sorry. Oh, did we skip that? Because we
Yes.
went on to, this is how much he made my brain foggy and confused, right? He said to me, let's use the equity of your home and buy a property together.
Right.
He goes, I will service the loan. I go, of course you're going to service the loan because it's my equity.
Yeah.
He goes, speak to your broker. Okay. I rang my broker in front of him.
Right.
My broker was asking questions. He was like, does he own any assets? I said, no. He goes, what do you mean no? I go, he doesn't own anything. He wants to go overseas to Greece and buy properties there. He goes, why Greece? I said, because he wants to retire there eventually.
Well, you know.
And apparently in Greece,
Kayla's dream.
Yeah. It's,
Right,
That's
is-
like my goal.
for you to become a citizen, you need to buy 500,000 euros worth of property or something. Is that right, Kayla?
I
Are you
wouldn't have a
Greek?
clue. I am, but I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I've got no idea.
So, and I said that to the broker, and I said, oh, you know, he's going to buy these properties in Greece. He goes, once he buys those properties, then we can talk. He goes, at the moment, fuck no.
Oh, love your broker. Yeah.
And mind you, he's a very good friend of mine.
Oh, really?
My husband was very close with him.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're family friends, and we
Love that.
still are.
Amazing.
So every time I ring him, is everything all right? What do you need?
Yeah.
Like,
So that was obviously one sign.
right. And his face turned.
And then
yeah, would have. Yeah.
the real estate. Yeah.
Asking, you know, so I thought, let's get, you know, a valuation done to my home. So my broker organises the real estate to come out. This man, I will never forget him. And when I do eventually sell one day or rent my house out, this is the man I will go to. I have never met someone so caring and honest, and everyone knows about real estate.
Because even
Yeah.
though your broker
Yeah.
said no at the time, you just also wanted to know what
Of
what you
course.
can rent it for, what you can sell it
Of
for.
course.
Yeah.
So I think anybody would have done that.
course.
You would have just
Yeah.
gone along with the plan to know for yourself.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's actually discussing this in front of like my best friend and her husband when he met her husband for the first time because they moved into their new property, right?
Yeah.
And Mr. White rocks up with like a 2-litre red wine. Be a man and help. He just wanted to chit chat with us ladies and drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And talking about like our finances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That was another red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, real estate comes. Walks in. Hi, I'm so-and-so. Hi, blah, blah, blah. Mr. White's there, mind you, and my daughter. And he goes, gee, do you want to take me around the house? I go, sure. And I looked at Mr. White. I go, do you want to join us? He goes, no. I'm going to sit here with your daughter. Okay. We went upstairs. And he just looked at me and he goes, how long have you been with him for? I said, oh, not too long. He was like, you're not thinking of buying a property with him, are you? I said, maybe. And he goes, please don't. He goes,
Wow.
I'm an agent. He goes, I can sell your house by next weekend. He goes, go rent with him first. He goes, I'll rent your house out. I'll make sure it's looked after. I promise you that.
Wow.
Please go live with him first. He knew who he was
Oh,
because as soon as he walked in, he goes, I know you.
no.
Yeah. So he hasn't got a very good reputation.
Terrible reputation.
Terrible, right?
Right.
I never heard of this reputation because that's not my people I hang
Not
out
your
with. So I
circle,
wouldn't know.
yeah.
And then the real estate said, you know, just rent with him. I went downstairs and he's like, oh, babe, I got to go. And I said, why? He goes, I just got a phone call. Something got to do with his car. So he went. And then I had my daughter's appointment. The real estate left and he said he's going to email me the appraisals for rental and to sell. So did my daughter's appointment, went back to his, and he was being a bit weird. Anyway, and then the topic came up how we got into an argument. He was like, you kept saying it's my house. And I said, well, it is my house.
Yeah.
It's not your house.
Exactly.
It's
that's
my
right.
house.
Yeah.
It's not your house.
Yeah.
It's your marital home that you bought with
Exactly.
your husband.
And I
Yeah.
said to him, if we ever decide to live together, we will not be living together in this house.
yeah.
Yeah.
I made it very clear.
Yeah.
Very clear. Anyway, and then, so, you know, then he got money off me, blah, blah, blah. I lent it to him. I had major surgery. We had an argument. I ended it. He then fucked off to Greece while I had internal bleeding and blood
Wow.
transfusions. So that is the day I realised this guy always had an agenda
Yeah.
when it came to me,
Yeah.
to vulnerable women that have something,
Yeah.
an asset, money,
That's right.
whatever it is,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
And did he pay you back your money that you lent him?
He's still, now he's got $850 to go.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
he's getting there slowly.
Yeah, but she made sure, like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
he paid her
God,
back.
yeah.
Like, she
that,
was on
you
his
know,
back
yeah.
texting him,
Yeah.
like, making
Yeah,
sure
it wouldn't have
that,
happened otherwise. But
Yeah.
No.
still, thank
Yeah.
God you've got
I actually texted him yesterday.
yeah.
Oh,
and there's
wow.
no, hi, how you going? It's pretty much, so
This is
when
how
am I
much.
going to get that
so
transaction?
he got caught out with you. You caught him out
course.
just
I caught him
in
out.
time.
And he touched my daughter's NDIS funding.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, $3,000.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're joking.
That's when I lost the plot. You want to fuck with me?
Wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with my kid.
Yeah.
And that's like your kid's funding. Like, your
I
child
can't
needs
believe
that.
this guy.
Yeah.
He is like,
Oh,
they could
but
do a Netflix documentary.
G
on
made him pay it back.
Yeah, good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good on
Because
you.
since then, you've changed NDIS providers.
Yes.
Did you ever complain about him to NDIS? Like put in a formal complaint?
Well,
or
I
do
did
anything
threaten
like
him
that? Yeah.
saying, you don't refund that money back into my daughter's funding. I'm going to the police because
Yeah.
I was advised to go to the police.
Yeah.
And to contact the commissioner.
Yeah, right. And did that scare him?
Absolutely, because
Oh, wow.
it got processed.
Wow.
I just checked
And
her account the other day and it's in there now.
Okay,
did you
good.
ever like tell his family anything, or this is what your son's like? Did you ever have those conversations,
No.
or did you just leave and then
No.
that's it?
I didn't have, I was a little bit close with his younger brother,
Okay.
but end of the day, it's his brother.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
right. Yeah.
You know what
They're
I mean?
always
Yeah.
going to defend them no matter
and
what.
which is fine. And I don't need people on my side. Whoever knows him, knows him. His reputation is very bad.
I can't believe he's got that much of a reputation. That one Facebook photo.
Yeah.
And people are contacting you. Like,
Yeah.
that is a seriously bad reputation to
it's
have.
wild, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And unfortunately, like when we did have that argument, he body shamed me on top of that.
Wow.
He
Yeah.
called me a Muslim cunt.
Oh, wow.
Like, how do you
Okay.
really feel
He
about
got
Muslims,
nasty.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But you were
Yeah.
with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
disgusting.
just, it was
Piece of
just an
shit.
agenda. He just
Yeah,
had
that's
it,
exactly
had a goal,
right. He had an
right?
agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I tell
wow.
G all the time because, she'll say things like, I was so stupid. And
Oh, it can happen to
you know,
anyone.
Exactly.
It's
it
not
can
about
happen
that.
to
It's-
anyone.
it's
And-
embarrassing.
very good.
yeah,
babe.
but,
It's
at the end of the
Really?
day, you got out.
I won, actually.
and
I
that's
dodged a bullet.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
you did.
You
That's
dodged
right.
a
Yeah.
bullet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for those
if
ladies.
anything,
Yeah.
he would be feeling stupid because he didn't get what he wanted.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You
he
know,
didn't.
this
Yeah.
was what he wanted from the
Yeah.
beginning, and you didn't give it to him. So,
Yeah.
I guess this can happen to anybody.
Of course
Absolutely.
it can.
I
Absolutely.
think as a widow, I'm not saying that they're, all men are like that, because they're not like that.
No, of course not.
But I think that if there are red flags as widows, we definitely need to be a little bit more guarded, because especially if you have assets and properties and businesses, because at the end of the day, we have children. And,
Exactly.
we need to protect
Yeah. This has
what's
been
ours.
Yeah.
This has been a very
Yeah, it's been a
lesson
journey
for me,
you.
right?
It's- yeah.
And I know all the red flags. This is not just men preying on women. It's also women preying on men.
Oh, I'm sure they're out there
You know,
too.
100%.
there's so many.
Yeah,
It can go both ways. For sure.
Absolutely. I know 2 people that have gone through it.
yeah,
And let me tell you, it is a disgusting world out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
People, like, I don't sit there when I meet someone and go,
No,
What
of
can I get
course.
out of that person?
scheming
But it
and, yeah.
seems like this is what this person
Oh,
does.
but I think it's just his thing.
It's
he
his-
just does it
he's
to
got
everyone.
like a
It's his
track
thing.
record
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does,
of
yeah.
doing this.
but,
So
you know, he's the victim, right?
yeah, but
Well,
narcissist,
narcissistic,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
narcissist,
Big
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
Well,
All
thank you
right.
so much for coming on.
Thank you,
and
guys.
sharing
Thank
your
you
story
so
with
much.
us. It was the end. That part 2 of that was not what I was expecting. It was crazy.
Yeah,
But glad you got out of it in time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean, that's what's
guys.
important,
Thank you.
right?
Yes. Next.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully better, a lot better.
yeah, we'll see.
Thanks, guys, for joining us in this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. I know I really did.
Yes.
We will
Thanks,
see
G,
you.
for sharing
yes,
your
thank you so
story.
much. We'll see you next week, as always. Any questions, comments, anything you want to know, any topics you'd like us to speak on, please send through a DM to Married Now Widowed on all platforms, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.